back.
Well, welcome back. Now, we're joined now by Mr. Mahmoud Azmy, and he's the Vice President of the Egyptian American Council. Also, we will be talking about initiatives abroad to promote tourism in Egypt, initiative calling Egyptians to visit the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh have recently suffered trying to attract attention to the beautiful city. The promoting campaigns called on Egyptian families who can afford spending vacations in tourist destinations and cities in the country to do so to support Egypt's tourism. A hashtag translated "Going to Sharm el-Sheikh" was released, as well as another campaign known as "Your Sons Are Your Support." So now we will be talking to Dr. Mahmoud Azmy about the topic. Dr. Mahmoud, welcome with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us. And I'd like to ask you at the beginning, and the situation with what happened recently and the challenges in Egypt, and trying to get back and recover. Tourism industry is very volatile. It is affected very easily, but at the same time, Egypt is known for the high speed of recovery. So do you think this initiative and campaign could solve some of our problems today?
First, to start with whatever we are doing, it is not campaign that we are doing as a favor for Egypt. We become where we are now because of Egypt. So every one of us working, regardless, there is a situation or there is no situation. Long time we are doing, in fact, annually we are sending our young people between age of 12 and 18 to visit Egypt. And then the other group from 18 to 24 come during summer. They go around from Alexandria to Aswan. They meet with different officials, different people, at least to get acquainted again with the Egyptian culture and to know that they have responsibility toward this country. We always monitor whatever going on. In fact, nowadays we realize, excuse me, we realize there is a problem. Some of the media who has an agenda are developing it, which is the story of the young man who was killed in Kuwait. This is going to affect definitely, or they are trying to affect our relation with Kuwait. We have a delegation going to go and visit Kuwait and thank His Highness, the Emir of Kuwait, for all whatever Kuwait did for us. Because we think it is not only a tourism, it's the thing to develop this country. There is a lot of other things. We cannot forget whatever Gulf people like Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait did for us during the bad time we had. We cannot also forget that His Highness came to Egypt 3 times. We saw him in the conference in Sharm el-Sheikh actually trying to help himself to walk, and that gave us a strong feeling how the strong relation between these countries should continue. We are doing something else also in reference to whatever happened with the Russian aircraft. We are hosting a dinner, actually. We are buying the plates from us, and we are inviting several senators and officials from America to attend this dinner. It looks like a dinner, but actually it's like an exhibition. We are bringing pictures of whatever happened in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Sinai, and equal pictures from different aircrafts, what happened to these aircrafts worldwide. In America itself, there were 4 aircrafts shot down with rockets. Ours till now we don't know. Then we are trying to show the people whatever you think it's a disaster, it's happening everywhere else. In fact, in your hometown, then there is no problem with that. In addition, we hold also conferences here in Egypt. Most of the expertise, the professionals, come to the conference as it's a scientific conference or academic conference, but the thing behind it, we are trying to grab them to Egypt to see that it is safe. We just had a conference just finished yesterday. There were 16 countries, 16 academic professionals came to this conference. I was very impressed when I saw them walking down to Tahrir Square on their own, early morning and late at night. And they came and said, we couldn't believe how safe it is in this country. These things, we are not going directly to stand up and say, oh, Egypt is great. No, we are doing it different ways. And we try to see whatever actually we see from the outside view.
Yes, do you think we're speaking to the outside, or we're speaking internally more? Because if you looked at the talk shows in the media, it's rather focused on how we are assuring ourselves that we are safe, because we know that as a fact, but the entire world doesn't know that. They look at the major news, like, the Russian plane, for example.
You're talking about the media?
Yes.
Media has two parts, either overreacting or agenda. You know very well that we are still continually attacked by outside power through the media. The media is the channel, can reach everywhere.
Yes, but can we fight this with the initiatives like this one and other campaigns that supports tourism? Can we focus on this holistic and strong pictures where we can influence and tell the entire world that we're changing and we're different?
People to visit Egypt are more stronger campaign than media, because the visual communication is the most strongest one. Yes, people listen to the media and follow whatever the media says. However, especially Americans, when people travel to a location, they go back, their word is trusted.
So it's more
they
the
take
word
it for granted. It's different than they watch the media. Yes, Egypt is bad, Egypt is disaster. I had a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, a colleague. He had a strong, good feeling about Egypt. But according to the media, during that time when we had the disease going through the pigs, he got very tense. I said, what about if you visit with me? Let's go and see it. I brought him directly to Al-Muqattam, and I showed him where the pigs raised. He told me, I will never, ever take a piece of pork here in Egypt. The pigs in the States eat better than poor people in underdeveloping countries. He went back very strongly supporting whatever the Egyptian government did. If you put it on the newspaper, yes, it's your media and they has to vouch for you. So we believe it differently, to bring people, because you can pay for an ad in the media. Then people can take it either or. But you cannot pay people to go back and vouch for you, especially the European and the Americans.
Yeah, so you mean, Doctor, that it's more than the word of mouth. It's mainly the word of mouth, more than the advertisements. So do you hold conferences, speeches about Egypt?
Absolutely, absolutely. There is two conferences coming in December. The American Expatriates and 120 Egyptian American businessmen are coming to Egypt to try to do something with the business people here. Actually, every year we have more than 5-6 conferences are held here.
Yes.
Now, what's the reaction of the people abroad now towards Egypt? Like, are they scared, or they still feel, no, Egypt is safe, this is just an incident and it's irrelevant to visiting Egypt, or discouraging them?
You would like to have the honest truth? Yes, still they are
Scared?
having a little bit fear, because don't forget, there is a lot of money poured to the PR companies, public relation companies, to badmouth Egypt. like the money coming from Turkey, from other countries, supporting Muslim brotherhoods, is still going very strong in the States. So you cannot go to every house and tell them, no, this is wrong. But gradually it will happen, especially when you see, they notice that, thank God, Egypt going back as one of the leaders through the entire world. And for us to gain a seat in the Security Council, that meant something. 179 countries to vote for you, that meant something.
Now, for the expatriates now, especially in the United States, as you represent the expatriates in the United States, now, do you feel that your money, because more than 4.7 billion of the Egyptian income or revenues, it comes from the expatriates' money, one of the sources of the economy. Now, do you feel that, or is there a plan to invest more in Egypt, that instead of just having your money abroad or just putting it in banks, that you might do other projects, especially involving tourism?
It is not money. Expatriate there, like during the past regime, during President Mubarak and that regime, we poured a lot of projects. We did not spend the money on it. For example, we linked universities, Egyptian universities with American universities. We made an excellent deal. We used our expertise to do it in the best and most economical way to serve the Egyptians. When it comes to money, those who are in business that are coming next month, they will, but those are businessmen. Expatriates mostly are professionals. They use their way of coming through experience, helping Egypt. And for example, we have a group through us also, Egyptian American Council. They are supporting the hospital 357. They are getting donations. They don't send money. They buy machines and whatever needed for the hospitals, and they send it to them. So we are not bankers, have money and will drop it here. No, it doesn't work this way. Actually, we do more. And whatever we do, it may actually worth more money than putting some money directly to Egypt. Like when you get one of the top 10 universities in the States to join with an Egyptian university, and your brother or sister can study here and gain the degree there for $10,000 or $7,000, when the degree there is $120, I think that's worth more than giving money to Egypt.
Of course it is.
How about turning this, initiative into sort of a matchmaking in order to have business tourism going? Is this part of your agenda too? Because you seem you have this activeness and energy to support Egypt, but at the same time you have the connections abroad. So matching and the matchmaking process between the entities might really help in terms of generating maybe opportunities, business, jobs, investments, tourism.
You're talking about to get tourism work again, or?
Yes.
Because I think, okay, we have among our, because Egyptian American Council is the organization looking after the welfare of the Egyptian living in the States. Part of the Egyptian living in the States are travel agencies. We are getting them because actually we felt a little bit relaxed before whatever happened with the Russian aircraft. We said, okay, now we can slow down, we can take different direction. But the moment this happened, we were planning to do something, but waiting for the outcome of the investigation to know exactly how we can approach it. The travel agencies are planning to hold something in connection with Egypt Air and the embassy. Actually, the embassies, they're doing a great job, honestly. With the embassy, in order to promote the tourism in a different way, low cost, okay, right time, and good packages. we will succeed to do it, inshallah, because we actually had a problem always that this part of the world never looked at America. Always look at Europe, Asia, never look at America. Therefore, you cannot get a better deal or good deals as it happened with Europe.
I also wish that we have this sort of consistency, you know. The incident of the plane, you know, I wish we have this sort of consistency. Instead of having a campaign after an issue, we should be having the campaign even before the issue to drive, you know, this momentum ongoing. So, but at the end, I'd like to thank you very much,
You are
Dr.
very
Mahmoud
welcome.
Azmy.
It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Well, now it's time for another report, and again, the crew of Nile TV was there, and it's an initiative to promote tourism in Sharm el-Sheikh. The celebre singer Ihab Tawfiq and the celebre composer as well, Ashraf Salim, they both held a press conference announcing the beginning of a new initiative called Egypt Will Endure. So now, let's watch the following report.